Okay, it started.
Right. So anyone can see my screen with my presentation slide?
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah. All right. Great. So, hello everyone. My name is Nazir. Today, we have another session for our event gathering. That we have a very special topic today, which is multi-language best practices by our special speakers. So me as a organizer from System KL with my friends, all the communities know him as Uncle Hassan. This is my colleague. Uh, so today we will have several agendas. So let's get through the agenda. First, we have a welcome intro. Next, this is the main highlight for our event, which is we have a multi-language best practices by Mr. Rui Felix. Next, after that, we will have a short Q&A sessions, so you can ask directly to Mr. Rui Felix related with the multi language, and also if you have another question also that you can ask during the Q&A. We have a Q&A section at the that you can find from your screen. So make sure you ask at the Q&A instead of chat. Next, we also will have a quiz, so make sure you are uh, stay focused during the presentation because the quiz will be related with the multi-language. Next, we will announce winners. That, as usual, winner will have uh, a sweat kit from our system, and we will have a short networking session after winner announcement. And last, please stay tuned until end of the session because we have a special announcement for our system user group Kuala Lumpur that we will have at the end of the session. So make sure you stay tuned. Right. Without any further, we are continue. This is just a recap from our last session. We have increased in our member for Kuala Lumpur user group in Facebook page. So now we have already 87 members, and also we have increased for member for Kuala Lumpur community in OutSystems user group. So if anyone not yet join these both group, make sure you can join after this session, or you can scan from the barcode. So if you not yet join, let's join us and make it merry. Right. So this is our major part of this today event. We will have a multi-language best practices by Reflex. As we all know, multi-language is a must, or maybe a very great features that all system that in Malaysia can have, because we have a diversity in Malaysia. So at least maybe two language, sometimes three or four. When we have Bahasa Malaysia, we have English, we have Chinese, and also Tamil in our language. So multi-language best practices is a great and also sweet for our community. So before we start, will introduce you guys with our special speaker today that we have Ray Felix, Assistant Architect and COO at OSQ. Also, we are very lucky today because Rifli is a speaker at last year OSDC, and some information that his topic, which is multi-language, is one of the most viewed topic at the OSDC 2021. Beside, yeah, beside that, Mr. Rick also has been working with our system technology for over 15 years now. He was the head of delivery of one of the biggest system factory in the world, specialist at scaling operation and system factories. Without wasting more time, I'm giving the stage to Mr. Rui Felix.
Thanks. Thanks a lot, Nazir. Let me share my screen now. So, like I was saying, this presentation is a presentation. It's not. There are many ways of doing multi-language. What I'm going to do, or I'm going to show you or introduce you, is the let's say the first way and most simple way of doing multi-language in an OutSystems application. There are more ways of doing also to achieve this, which are a little bit more advanced. They have the pros and cons. So this what I'm going to do is to show you at least the basics of the multi-language that OutSystems offers for you to implement in your applications. So let's see. Okay, what is the multi-language? Very quickly, is the ability to use several languages in your applications. And why should you do this? There are a few reasons for this. In some countries, is it's mandatory. If you want to have one application on a specific country, it may be mandatory by law to have that language available for that specific country. Sometimes some countries have more than one language, like we have in Malaysia, and we have also in a lot of countries in Europe, like Switzerland, for instance. There are a lot of different languages, and you want to have your application available for everyone. And essentially, if your application has many languages, you are removing the restraints, and you can reach everyone. And so, how can we achieve this without systems? We have three ways. One is the resource files, which is like the Excel files that we can extract. We have translation tables, so we can have our data model with our data, and then to create some tables that will do their translations, or use static entities to use the translation as well. And we can also have localized images, which are images that we can say for one image, we can specify a locale, a language, and we can show the same image with different text. For instance, this very small example that I have here is we can have an image with this text, vacations of a lifetime. If I change the language, I can change essentially I have three pictures, and I'm changing the pictures that are being shown. What I'm going to approach now is I'm going to talk about the front end and UX best practices. It's something that is a little bit agnostic to the technology. This is something that should be used by everyone, never mind the technology. Um, one, the first rookie mistake that I see in some projects is when we can select the language. Sometimes the language is written on the language of the application. So what happens by that is that uh, for instance, if I have here, if I can select a language and I'm looking at a Japanese application, and I see the different languages that I can choose, if they are all written in Japanese, how do I know which one is English? So this is a common mistake that sometimes happens. So what should we do? Every time we show the language for someone to select, we should choose the native language. So this way I can recognize what is my language. The example that I have here is from Google, where we can select the language, and very well they are writing here what is the language that we can choose on the native language. Country flags. This is a topic that raises a lot of conflict. There are many different opinions, but essentially, what happens? People like to use the country flag next to the language, but in reality, flags, they represent nations, they represent countries, they do not represent languages. And this is especially troublesome if you have more than one language in one country. um, the example that I'm giving here is from a website from a video game um, software house where they were located in Canada, and in Canada you can speak English, you can speak French, and they had their options like this. And the first option you could see English, but with the Canadian flag. It's not wrong. It's unusual for us to see this because they speak English in Canada. So the thing is, if we choose to use the country flag, then we should use the country flag for to in my opinion, we should not use it, but it's up to everyone to see if they want to use it or not. For me, it raises a little bit of confusion. Like, for instance, also Spanish or Portuguese. It's a language that is spoken in a lot of different countries. Should I use the country flag there? The country flag makes more sense if we are talking about location, where someone is. Am I accessing a store for a specific country? Let me go for that country to see the store with the products that exist on that country, and so on. For language, it will not be my choice. uh, icons are your best friends. And why? Because I'm lazy and I don't want to do translations. What I mean by this is I will not do translation on an icon. So this is less work for me. Let's take this into our advantage. Whenever I can, if instead of using, let's say, for instance, if I have a page where I can create customers, let's say, I will not create a button that says add customer. I will just put a plus. If my context is the customer, if I have a table of customers, if I have a plus, okay, I know that I'm going to add a customer. So I will try to use icons whenever I can. If I see the garbage bin, I immediately think, okay, this is for delete. I don't need to have a button written delete. Otherwise, I have to create the translations for everything, for the edit, for the download. Whenever I can, uh, please use icons. They are your best friend, and it's something that makes your web pages um, and it's a lot easier for the eyes. The automatic language selection, this is a topic also that many websites have different approaches. One thing is, um, one thing that usually happens is, the application checks from my IP address. It sees I'm from Portugal. Then let me show you the website in Portuguese. This is not a cool approach. If uh, let's say that I am in Malaysia, and then I open a website and I immediately see everything in Malaysian. Well, I cannot read. So I would prefer to see the content of a web page in something that is familiar with me. So one good approach is to use on mobile applications, for us to use the globalization plugin, and let's see what is the language of the operating system of my mobile phone. That is a lot better, because okay, it will recognize, okay, my mobile phone is in English. Let me show you the content of the website of the application in English, because this is your language. If you are not on the mobile applications, there are some components, and I'm going to talk at the end, some resources where you can retrieve the browser language or the operating system of the computer language, and let me see if I have that language available. If I have it, I will show that. That would be my first option, in order to know what language should I offer to someone that is visiting my application. So now let's go a little bit for the code development. Um, If you want to create that option where we can select the languages, um, one good idea is to have a static entity with the languages that we can choose. For instance, we can use these fields like the what is the locale, what is the language, what is the display name on the native language, and to see just for us if we should show this or not. And uh, we must not translate the static entity, otherwise we will show everything on that on that language, like the first thing that I was speaking in the beginning. So this table must not be translated. This is the most common mistake that happens when the developers are doing code and on a multi-language application. This happens every time. So what happens is, if we have, for instance, a button or an expression or a label, let's say, with the label or buttons, if we do a copy paste, although we are not seeing this, but we are also copying the translation. Let me show you an example where this usually happens. So I have here a very small part of an application. I have here a button that says confirm. So if I go and see the translation for the confirm in Dutch, we have that translation. And now someone says, well, I want to create another button. I will do a copy paste of the confirm button. I will do it. Okay, I have here a new button that is also called confirm. I will change whatever it's there. I will call it cancel. If I go and see the translation now, what happens is the translation is the same. Although we are not seeing this, the translations are being copy pasted, although we can change the text. And this is very common for a developer to do a copy paste on something, but we need to be aware that the translation is going also, and the developer will not see it, or we will not test the application on a different language, and then when this goes to production, we see text that doesn't make sense. This is one of the most common mistakes with development. It's the copy pasting and forgetting that, oh, okay, I have to change also the translation. Another thing is, if we have a big text, we should split into different small things that makes the life easier for someone that is going to do the translation. And also, in matter of showing information, it's a lot better to split everything. And especially if we have the enters, the carriage we return between blocks. um, it may happen that someone that is going to do the translation on the Excel file does the translation, but that person will not put the carriage return. And so the text that we have here, if we have a carriage return, it will disappear, and the formatting will be different. Another thing is, and this is also this may be the second of of top errors that happens when we do translations. We work with translations. So this is the text that starts or ends with a space. Let me give you an example. When we if we have spaces in our sentences, the person that is going to do the translation on the Excel file, most likely that person will not add a space in the end of the word that they are doing the translation. Let me show you an example. So let's say that we have this in our code. Your shopping cart has X amount of items. As you can see here, right after the word has, we have a space. And on the word items, we also have a space there. Most likely, the person that is going to do the translation on the Excel file it will do the translation for the word items. It will That person will not add a space there. So the end result will be something like this, and this is not cool. So what is the proper way that we should do as developers whenever we are doing is, okay, we split the space, and we may even mark it as not to be translated, and we just remove spaces from the equation. If we do it like this, everything will be fine whenever the person that is going to do the translation will show it okay. um, this is also one of the things that we must do if we are building an application that is going to be multi-language. If a developer receives the task, please implement this functionality, one of the things that person should do, so that person, the developer should implement, of course. The developer should test, but also before saying okay it's done, it should do the categorization of what is to be translated or not. Otherwise, what happens is at the end of the sprint, everyone will spend a lot of time doing the categorization of what should be translated or not. If this is a development task, it's a lot better, it's a lot easier for us to have things ready. So our purpose is on all the modules where a developer is working on, to have here the not defined has to be zero always. Whenever they are building something, okay, I'm done. Did you do the categorization? Fine. So we should always see what is left, and we mark it as should this be translated or should this not be translated. So a decision has to be made. Context. This is one of the hardest things um, that 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 a translator, someone that does the translation, does, because uh, whenever we give the resource file, that Excel file, to a translator, it will only receive an Excel file. So it doesn't know where that word or that sentence is being used. And that is very hard for him to know the context, to know what should be the translation that I use. So let me give you here an example. This is an example of what an Excel file, when we export the translations, what it looks like. On the column key that we have here, it's the OutSystems key. So everything that exists in OutSystems as a key, it's called an SS key, like Service Studio key. So it's all everything is like this. And then what the translator sees is we have here the languages. We have here in what is the text to be translated. We see here the locale of the language. So we have here Japanese. We can have here in Dutch. So as many as you have, as many columns you will have here. And if he only sees this, sometimes it will be complicated to know what to translate. So me and a couple of friends of mine, we coined one thing that we called the Zulu technique. And what's this? This is a way to provide the translator a way, at least, to give him a little bit of the context. And so what we do with this, quite simply, is we make available on the application, we create an access for the translator to go to the application and use the application, and then to make available the SS keys that exist on the Excel file. That those SS keys will be available on the application. Let me give you the example. So the translator will enter the application. It will see the application. This is the normal way of working. And we switch the language to Zulu. And on the Zulu, what we did is on the Excel file, we did a copy of the column of the SS keys. We pasted everything on the Zulu language. Now our application has a new language that is called the Zulu language. And what we do here is only make available for the translator to see the SS key. So this way it knows when we see here, like for instance, on the top, we see that feedback message. He knows, okay, he can do a copy and search for that on the Excel file and know, okay, this is the context. This is what I'm seeing. And if we do this, we can see our application. We can see all the SS keys that exist only on the Excel file. They will also be available on the application for the translator. One word of advice is not to make the Zulu language available on production. This doesn't make sense. This only makes sense to be on non-productive environments, or the environments where the translator, someone that is going to do the translation, to be able to see this. This is not a perfect way. This is at least to provide some sense of context for the person that is doing the translation. We called it the Zulu technique. Why did it choose Zulu? Because it's the last of the all the available languages. The last one is Zulu, so that's why we chose it. So very quickly, I show here. So what I was explaining, we add a new locale in our application. We copy the SS keys to the translation locale of the Zulu, and then we publish, and then we set the application locale to Zulu, and then everyone will be able to see those SS keys that exist on the Excel file. So this is the final result of the Excel file. We'll have here the Zulu at the same time as the keys. We just copy the keys to the Zulu language and import it and make it available. Now let's talk about very quickly about release management. So what happens is whenever we add translations into our applications, essentially we are adding code. It's like coding. So we can add those translation files in two moments, or when we are in development, we can add. So if the person that is doing the translation, if it provides the Excel files, we can import those in development, and it's perfect. And if our application already moved on and the translator only have access to QA, for instance, or for the test environment, what will happen is it will work on that, but the development team is already working on another version of our application. So we have to treat this as a quick fix. Let me show you very quickly. So this is a lot simpler. So the developers are working on our application in development on the version 1.0, and it's done, it's ready, cool, let's move it to the test environment. Only then, if only then, the person that is doing the translation is going to do it on whenever is happening on test environment. On development, we already on version 1.1, so things don't mix. What we have to do is the translator will change his Excel files. We have to pick up, but we want to show the version 1.0 when it reaches production. We want to show it with the translations, but we haven't done anything here. So what we have to do is treat this like a quick fix. So we pick up the translation files, and what we will do is we will publish the translation files on version 1.1. So it's like adding code. And then we do a merge of version 1.1 with 1.0. So this way, the version 1.0 will have the only the translations will be there, and everything will work um, the best way. And version 1.1 will also have the translations as well, the new translations. So this is the best way of dealing with the translation files. Again, this is only for the resources in Excel. This is not for if we have tables with if we have translation tables and so on. So this is only dealing with resources of our applications. Regarding Forge components and some resources that will help you on these tasks. So if you want to learn more about multi-language, you have available on the OutSystems, there is a guided path. It's a very short guided path. It takes you 15 minutes or less to know the ins and outs, how to export the Excel files, how to import, how to deal with this. And we have here the globalization plugin. This is awesome for using with the mobile applications and so on, to see what is the language that is behind our devices. And we have here another one that is the local toolbox. This is the one that tells you what is the language from the browser. If it cannot get the language of the browser, it will show you also the language of the operating system and so on. It will help you to make a decision to what is going to be shown. These are some links. Later, I will do the export. I will send this presentation. It will be available for everyone, and they can see here. So essentially, it's some those two links are. One is from the OutSystems website, regarding it's a knowledge document that speaks a little bit about the translation. And here I have here a very small article that I've done in how to use localized images step by step. How can we use those also in our applications? And that's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Siri. That was a great question. And I think the most taking my point is a very brilliant practice related with the Zulu practice that we can make it to reduce miscommunication between translator and also the one doing the developments, right? That was
Yeah,
really I think that was very helpful. Oh,
thank you.
yeah. All right. So has uh, all right, so we have maybe we are open for any Q question
Mhm.
from all the participant. If you have, or maybe you already implement multiple language that you have some troublesome, maybe you need to raise your question at the chat. Sorry, at the Q&A box if you have any.
See a question in the chat now.
Oh,
Luis is talking about multi-language. Do you know why the folder is called locales in Service Studio? Multilingual locales.
Um, Well, this is a computing terminology. The languages are usually called locales. It's not called language; it's called locales because we have we may have different variations inside the language. So, for instance, we can have English, we have British English, we have American English, we have South America English. There are many variations, and for all these variations, it's called a locale. So it's not just English; it's the full detail. The locale consists in the language code and the country code as well. So that's why we have, for instance, EN US or EN GB. So it's a language and the country. So it's that combination. In Portugal is the PTPT. So Portuguese from Portugal.
Hmm. Okay. Actually, I have a question. And meanwhile, we can maybe hear from others, but I have a
Sure.
question regarding the multi-environment, when we have the version 1.0 in test and we have to apply some hotfix or quick fix. So in that case, you said it's recommended to publish it to the development first and then export the module of the
Mhm.
screen module, UI module. And in the test, we just menu compare and merge, and then we check the compare between the two environments. So here, when we select,
Mhm.
we need to select text by text the changes, because we cannot select the at the text level. We can select screen or widgets. Okay, so if the screen of the in development environment, it's already had some changes that we don't need to move them to the UAT or to the QA,
Yes.
but we still need
Yes. Yes.
to
Yes.
do the translation. What is the best way here to deal with this kind of cases?
The, the thing that what we are importing and what we are doing the merge, it's not the assets itself between inside OutSystems. It's not the buttons and the locales. It's the Excel files. The Excel files are the only things that are imported.
Hmm.
It,
But
so it will not matter the changes on the code.
I don't
It's only
remember.
the Excel files.
Yeah, I don't remember that the Excel files is shown in the compare screen. Maybe we need to export the Excel and import it
Uh,
directly in the test environment and publish the module maybe in the.
Yeah, we need to merge. The merge is only for the, if I'm not mistaken, it's only for the Excel files. It's
Ah,
not for the full code itself.
okay.
The thing is, we need to do it on development
Hmm.
and merge it with the other one. It's because we can go directly into test, no problem with that. The thing is, it will be we will lose the translations on development,
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
that part it will be tricky, um, but that is the if we can, if we allow the translator to have access to development, it's okay. So there are many different ways of doing this. Sometimes the translator has access to development and provides the translations in development. If that is the way, then it's perfect. The downside of this is that the development environment is always is it's not people are working on it, so it's not the best way to try and see if everything is appearing the right way. um, if I've seen in the past some decisions that were okay. What happens is the translator is doing the translation of the application on test, uh, but the translation Excel files will only be sent to development. What happens with this is uh, our application is using multi-language, but only the new functionalities will appear with not no will not have the translation. On the next sprint they will show up, but on that present sprint they will not be there.
Hmm.
So there are many different approaches to have here, but
Yeah.
not to be able to show it right away. It's not
Hmm.
it's not
Yeah.
the coolest thing.
What we did, just a quick thing, we did that change on development, okay, and then we exported a new version
Yeah,
from the Excel from the development and imported again within that test. So now the translation file, Excel file, are aligned between the environments, but without copying any
yeah,
code from the development. Okay,
yeah,
so I think,
yeah.
yeah,
It's good.
we have now three questions
Yeah.
or more, maybe. Is okay. Let's see the Q and A. We have here all
Oh,
static
there is.
translatable. Then a question from
Yeah.
Antonio. All
Oh,
static text is translatable. I think text.
yes,
Yeah. Okay. I think text in
yes. All the
SQL
static
format.
entities.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry. Continue,
Yeah.
Hassan.
No, I think he just completed his question. I think text in SQL commands are not translated.
Text in.
In SQL commands are not translated. He said, I think text in SQL commands are not translated. This is just SQL commands.
No,
It's
no,
not,
no, no.
not a text.
No.
Mm,
We have to comment whatever or categorize whatever the application, the service studio tells us, so what that we need to do it. But in there, I don't think so. No, I don't see that we need that we will translate anything like that. There is a good question here from if there is an API available for us to translate automatically instead of using the Excel file and so on. That would be really awesome, because it does not exist at the time. We have to do this manually. We can use, if I'm not mistaken, there is a command we can use on the Service Studio executable. We can use some commands with it. We can say service studio dot exe. I think we can use -e, that is for extract. We can extract by command line. I think we can extract the Excel files, but there is no API for this. The same thing to add. We can also add via command line we have to see the options that are available on the executable for Service Studio that allow us to do things to the modules. The SS key, Kenny is also asking how the SS key is created for a local file. That is automatically created. We don't do anything. If you go for the translations, if you do the export, you will see those there. They are created the moment I think that we say this is something to be translated. Okay, so that will come out on the Excel file, but that is all managed by Service Center, by Service Studio.
Yeah. So we don't, or OutSystems doesn't store these translation in some meta tables in internal database. So if so, maybe we can create some plugin to.
I think it does. I think it does. There are some there is some meta tables that have that information.
Maybe we.
Most definitely, they are there.
Yeah, if you can access
I did a proof of concept in the past that was I wanted to create the translation directly on that method on that meta information table, and it was a cool thing. It was I would add a pencil on all the expressions and buttons. Everything would show if I was in translation mode, it would show a small pencil on everything, and I could click on that pencil and I would select the language and I would write the translation. It works fine. There is some drawbacks. One of the drawbacks is that on that meta information table, in order for the application to show the translation, I need to do an IIS reset. Otherwise, it will not show up immediately on runtime. It will not do it. It would require an IIS reset. So that part is troublesome. And the other thing is that there were things that were hard to create translations. For instance, if I have like a combo box or a list box, there was no way for me to add there a pencil there, something for me to be able to change that. That part was more tricky. So then I later abandoned, but it was cool to be able to create like a UI to do the translation in runtime. But then the part of the IIS was not cool. I would not see immediately the translations happening. But I hope that I sincerely hope that in the future, OutSystems improves a little bit this mechanism
Mm.
of the translations. There are also uh, big challenges if you are working in the big factory. What I mean by this is, let's imagine that your application has 1,000 modules. Okay, so that will give me 1,000 Excel files.
Mm.
So I will not give 1,000 Excel files for a translator to, hey, have fun. There's 1,000. And then have more fun receiving those 1,000 files and uploading them all over again. So for big factories, there is still some work to be done regarding this type of translations. If it is a small application, it's okay. Otherwise, we have to create our own applications to do the export, to merge the files, to create on one single Excel file instead of 1,000. And if we have uh, 16 languages, I have 16 people that will do translation. So then I also have to split that into 16 Excel files with only one column and pick it up and move all over again.
Simple.
So these are another challenges for big factories and of a lot of different languages. It's troublesome.
Mm. Yeah, maybe there is a deep hidden link between the service studio and this meta table that prevent us from accessing directly these tables, or maybe it's required
Yeah.
I reset. Okay.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I really hope that in the future,
mm,
that all these mechanisms will improve and make our life easier to create translations on the applications. So there is a way, but for very large factories, there should be some more improvement as well.
yeah, I see. I think we have another question that has one thumbs up. Does OutSystems handle right to left languages? If not, is it a real problem? You could just
Ah,
write text RTL and it will be displayed correctly. Of course, in expressions that have static text, you have to have extra care. That's
yeah.
it.
So where I work, we have some applications in the Middle East, and that is in fact an issue because the way of writing it's mirrored. So what we do is, on whenever we select, OutSystems does not provide any type of tools for this. So when we change the locale, it would be great if the set locale action would have something to says if it is right to left or left to right. That would be really awesome, but it doesn't. It only changes what is the text. What we do is, we created a CSS specific for whenever we change the language. We change the locale. When the user changes the language, we change the locale to be that specific locale, and then we apply a different CSS that will mirror what we are seeing on the screen. Basically, it's the way we do it.
Mm,
So it has one extra step, but it's not out of the box without systems.
mm, mm. I see. Nazir, do you have any question now? How to link the translation with the regional formats as dates or number format. Is there a plugin or component to help in this area? Regional format.
There are some forge components that will assist you on this, especially with dates and currency. Those are the most troublesome. Everyone writes dates in different ways, but it's not all connected with one thing. Basically, everywhere where I worked, we ended up creating our own components to change, well, the input masks. According to the locale, we would change all the input masks to work in different ways. But uh, but one important thing is that on the database level, everything is stored on the same way. So it's just a way of changing, extracting, and see what is the locale or what is the input mask, and then show it. But to be careful to always use the a common way of storing information. Never store information um, with a specific mask. Always unmask everything and then store it. You can have like a license plates or different types of data. So make everything common when you are storing your data. Same thing would go um, for for time zones. So time zones is also a very cool topic that messes with our minds, and we should also always store things in UTC, which is like a universal way or of storing data. If we are on the cloud, we may already have seen this. So every if the OutSystems infrastructure is on the cloud, or if you're using a cloud solution, everything is always stored in UTC.
Hmm.
So it's a matter for us to unmask and show it on the proper way for the user. So it's kind of also the same thing.
I see. I find interesting question now. I'm not sure if there is a feature like this. Currently, hello, it's a very interesting discussion. Currently, it appears that the multi-language is only allowing for one language to be selected at a time. Any possibilities to have two
Correct.
languages side by side after we imported the Excel file and publish it? So as a user, I need to see
Two
on
languages.
two languages at the same level. So maybe that will help the translator, or maybe that, because we faced this issue in one of the projects. The end users in some of the screens, they need to see the two languages together at some of the screens. So how can we achieve that?
The, but the same button, but with the two languages.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or the
for
text,
me, I
basically,
would go
the
for a
label.
Zulu approach. I would go for a Zulu. So I would select one locale that is not used by the application and most likely will never be used. And I would say, okay, this is the language that has a combo of two languages,
Mm,
and place it there.
mm,
That could be a solution.
So we can
Yeah.
consolidate the
But
two
it's a
text
very
into one column, or maybe for the labels in some
so
form, you have the label or the question.
exactly.
It has the two languages. I can see that pattern sometimes. So yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
labels on the question.
yeah, but
Mm,
what happens without systems is you can only select one.
mm.
In fact,
Yeah, maybe we can to try to create a custom locale, so we can have it call it some
yeah,
when the user select that locale, then it will show the both translations. So it's not
yeah.
Excel.
I think that would be a cool approach to try.
Yeah. With what else? I think can see three. If I use the Zulu, I need to copy the code on the screen and search for it in the Excel file. Okay. Is there a way
Yeah, correct.
to index it in a easy to read way? Just come across my mind. But this
The
is
thing is that we cannot change the SS keys.
Mhm.
I don't. One way that we could do it is um, one way to make it easy would be, or either we create an application of our own where we can export the Excels and then import those. One cool feature would be to see where the same text is being repeated, and automatically, when I do a translation for something, it will automatically do on a lot of those. But to escape to the SS keys to find those, it's troublesome.
Mhm. I see.
String is
I think that's all of the question. Did I miss anything, Nader?
Is yeah, there is one question from Antonio also. I participate in some
oh,
project where the translation were not done by the developer, were not project
yeah,
on for us.
it should not be done by the developer.
Yeah. In our system, you use the Service Studio. Translator able to use the tools to translate.
No. What happens is You can add translations in Service Studio, of course. You can go there and write them yourselves, but that for that you would have to be a developer.
Yes.
But a translator, it's someone that doesn't mess around with code. So what the translator will do, it's we will send him by email or
Excel.
wherever the Excel file.
Yes.
It will do the translations only on the Excel file. It the translator will deliver the Excel file to the developer, and the developer will upload or import again that Excel file to the application. But so like this, the only tool that the translators are using is the Excel file. So to provide them a way to use the application, it's a good idea.
All right. So there is one question from Anthony also for Nancy. You said translation was one of the more request topic in OSDC 21. So actually, our system already posed today that it is the greatest, one of the greatest hits during the OSDC. So we can find at the our system post related with this. Do you know with of this, Ruth?
Uh,
Uh,
I,
which
I
is
I I knew it was on a top 10,
yeah,
but
Okay.
I didn't know even because I was more than happy that it reached the top 10, even because it was a lighting session and it was being shown at the same time as two other sessions. So um, there are some sessions that were standalone. Uh, okay, okay.
so today already post that this is one of the
Oh, this is
OSDC
recent.
greatest hit. Yeah, recent, just this morning. Yeah,
The greatest
Oh,
hits.
that's very cool. That's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, this
This is
is very cool. I only knew that it was on the top 10, but I pat myself on the back.
yeah. Congrats, congrats,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
congrats on
very
this.
cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
So
very
that's
cool.
I'm Hassan find out this morning, and we are talking that we are have this session. So all the community are very lucky tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, it
that's
has
awesome.
a lot of cool information. This copy paste, the best faults that the users normally do. That's also, yeah, the
Yeah.
good to hear. Yeah.
It's perfectly normal. The copy paste and the
Yeah.
spaces when
The space.
we are writing something, it
Yeah.
happens 1,000 times every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. That's right.
All right. So I think all the questions have been gone through, right? So maybe Hassan, you want to go through to proceed for our next fun things that we will have a quiz and we will select the winners from the quiz.
Okay, so it's the fun time, the quiz time. Let me share my screen and then we can have this question on. I need to this.
Make
Okay,
sure everyone prepare with your phones.
okay. I think I need to rejoin. Okay, I will rejoin. Okay.
Okay. Right. So at the meantime, everyone have to prepare with your phone. So we will join Kahoot and through your phone, and all the question will be displayed at the screen. So we let's wait for us and have our quiz.
Okay.
And
Now
special announce.
I think I can share my screen because it's required for me to log out and log in. Okay.
All right.
So let's start the game. It's about 10 questions. So it's 10 questions. The winners will be three, the top three. So this is the game pin. I will paste it in the chat for you. Just open this from your mobile. Okay, it's better to use it on your mobile so you can track the question on the screen, the laptop screen, and you can answer using your mobile. So the first joiner, Pedro Oliveira.
All right, great.
Akmal, Fairuz, May. So we will have 3 winners for today. They will, the top 3, they will receive swag kits from OutSystems. You know, I think all of you, you know Kahoot, that it depends on the speed of your answer and the correct one for sure. So try to be careful first and then to be fast to choose the correct answer. We will have 10 questions. Each question has 20 seconds. Some of them have 4 choices, 4 options, and some of them are just true or false questions. So this is the rules of the game. We are already 14. We will wait just 2 more minutes.
Right, let's join.
Okay, 15. But we need to know your name, okay? The winners, they need to contact us so we can know their names, and then we can contact with them for the address to deliver the swag kits. Okay, 16. Anyone more need to join?
Anyone
Okay,
have difficulties and want to wait?
yeah, you can add in the chat any, if you have any to wait. Okay.
Okay, you want to start now?
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 15. It's not, it's in decreased,
It's
not.
reduced.
Okay, now we have 2 more. Okay, so we will start now. Okay, the first question. 3, 2, 1. The first question: what was the name of the brilliant speaker today? Hassan, Roy, Nazir, Roy. 14 answers, 15 answers, still one to answer. Okay, 16 answers. I think all answer. So, okay, all good. So, Nazir,
Okay.
host.
Oh,
Okay.
I have
Yeah.
one friend.
Yeah. Okay, next. So, Bava. Bava is the first now.
Fastest one. Great.
Yeah. Which of these does not assist OutSystems in the localization process? Resource files, translation tables, localized images, special HTML tags.
13 answers.
Yeah, all answers. Let's see. Okay, so it's special HTML tags that's not mentioned
Also,
in the. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay. So now Akmal is the top one. Let's see next. Still, there are a lot of chances. What is the best way to provide a language selection? In English, with country flags, in the language of the browser? Each option is written in the native language.
What is the best way?
Yeah. So being quick and fast is not always the best. You need to wait to read the all options. This one. It's each option should be written in the native language as we saw. So that's the best way to provide the language selection. Next. Okay, now they changed. There are some changes here. So please be careful. Now we reach the question number 4. True or false? The message text value in message node can be found in the translations text. The message node, the toast message, okay? Can we find it in the translations text in the resources or not? Or only the labels? Actually, it can be found, yes. The message that it's shown in the pop-up message or the toast, whatever you write there as a text, you can find it in the translations resources. Okay. Now, this is the most difficult question. Let's move on to the easier one. Okay, Viola is the best so far. Let's see. True or false? Implementing multi-language feature in mobile apps requires installing a Forge component. True or false? Is it requires a force component to implement this feature in mobile apps? I don't believe so.
Oh,
No,
yes.
it doesn't require because it's built-in feature
Built-in,
in
yeah.
mobile apps now. Yeah. Previously, it was not there in the reactive and the mobile, but now it's available. So still now I can see the same results keep there. Okay, let's see. We still have 5 questions. One of the following is not part of the OutSystems main message. Build applications fast, smart, right for the future. Which is not part of the main message that it's in their website, in their everywhere they speak to the public. Okay, smart. This is it part of the main message of the out. Okay, let's move next. See Pedro again move back. So there is a opportunity to get back. Let's move on. One of the following database engines is still not supported by OutSystems. Postgres SQL, MySQL, Oracle, none of them.
Yeah. Which one is still not supported by our system?
Yeah. Actually, none of them. Postgres SQL, it's not supported before last week. Okay, just last week or 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
it's very recent. Yeah.
They
They
just
announced
announced
that
it.
finally they have the official integration with the PostgreSQL using integration builder. So this is a new information that you can find it in the pinned post in the forum. So these 11 are up to date with the forums.
Yeah.
These 6 are not yet. Okay, let's move on. So now can you move on? Let's see, still have 3 questions. What is the latest launched OutSystems certification? Front-end developer, professional platform ops, professional DevOps, delivery specialist. The latest certification that's announced just this month.
It's also hard,
Yeah,
but
need to
let's
be up
see.
to date. This is similar to the platform DevOps. It's similar to the platform ops, similar to DevOps, but this is the one that is just launched recently. This is from the beginning. I believe it's all the platform ops, but this is DevOps one. It has some similar concepts here, but it's still branded new. This one, the delivery
Yeah.
that is yes new, but not the most
Mhm.
recent one. Yeah. Okay. So next, let's see that result. Oh, there are a lot of changes. Okay, cool. So we have still 2 more questions, and that can change the things. Okay, remember the top 3. We will announce the winners after this. Okay, how many OutSystems community members are there at the moment? The most accurate answer: 400K plus, 500K plus, 600K plus, and or 700K plus.
That's an excellent question.
Actually, it's 600K plus, and just recently it reaches to the 600. Previously, it was
500 plus. Yeah.
570, 580.
Oh,
Just recently, it became 600,
600.
and now today it's 600K and 300 developer. Okay, the last question now. It's the easiest question, so try to play with the quick and the speedness of the answering. Where is OutSystems office located in Malaysia? Putrajaya, Kuala Lumpur, Cyberjaya, Penang. In Penang, there are a lot of companies there are in Kuala Lumpur. So it's near KL Central. So I hope one day we can do this user group meeting there and we meet all together. So let's see the winners next. The third place is Feiruz. Okay, congratulations. Very
Congrats for
good. Kenny, the
Kenny
second one,
too.
and the first place, I believe, it's Viola. Okay, congratulations for all of you, and hope next time we have also more prizes and winners. 9 out of 10, that's a very good number. Okay, and here the speed play, the quickly answers, Kenny. So this, please, we don't know your real name, so please contact us in Facebook, in the OutSystems community directly, or using our email. Okay, just to know more about and connect with you. So this is just difficult questions. Okay. Okay, so that's all what we wanted so far to play. Let's move on to the next
Next.
topic. What's coming next, Nazir? We need to hear from you, Nazir. What's coming next?
Yeah, so
Special
this is
announcement.
also one of the most topic that we are already we still discuss today. So we are, have a very special announcement to all community members of System Kuala Lumpur. So let me share my screen. Back. Right. So we already complete uh, our quiz. Now we already also announce our winner, and this is sometimes that we will have a short networking session before we have that special announcement.
Yeah.
Right.
So now it's just for you if you are searching for a new job, for example, or you have some opportunity, you are hiring. Okay. So we tried just to make this 10 minutes, last 5 minutes or 10 minutes, if anyone is interested, and then it's just kind of connections, okay, and networking. In when that in person, that will be better, but now virtually, let's do that communication. So if anyone is looking for a new job, okay, we just, he can put it in the chat, his email. Okay, so the one who is looking for some OutSystems developer in KL or in Malaysia in general, also he
Can
or she
share.
can contacted with the email.
All right. So is
Yeah,
there
so
any?
for us, for example, in Do It Lean, we are hiring. Okay, so if anyone is interested, we are hiring a junior developers, OutSystems junior developers. So if anyone is interested to join us, please contact me. I will put my email in the chat. Okay, so if anyone also is interested in hiring or looking for a job, please put your email in the chat. So just 2 minutes to for all of you if you are interested.
Okay. So this is not yet our announcement. So this is just a quick networking. Oh,
Yeah.
Sonia asking, is there any prize for running up?
Yeah.
I think yes, we have three winners that will receive the prize that we will send to your address. Okay. Right. So that we can proceed with the next, right, Hassan?
Yeah, since no one participating, so it's okay. Let's move.
Yep. All right. So this is our special announcement that we have today. So before that, let's see this video. So what will we doing next? Oh, sorry. So next, we are planned to have a Putrajaya electric bike tour with OSUG or as a user group Kuala Lumpur. So this is maybe we plan for next event to be face to face, and I think that we will have several discussion who will join us to have this electric bike tour. So maybe anyone from here not yet uh, try electric bike. So this is a good opportunity that we will have event, meet and greet for us to know each other, to share our background and also our experience with the OutSystems user group KL at Putrajaya. So this is our announcement, and everyone here can join. We just create a WhatsApp group for easier for us to participate and also communicate. In this group, maybe if you have a problem, me and Hassan can help. If Hassan have a problem, maybe I can help. Or maybe if Rui have a problem, everyone of us can help. Rui also, if everyone have a problem, so related with our system, we can discuss in the group with more uh, bit more easier by using WhatsApp. So now everyone can scan this QR code using the WhatsApp camera. We also invited Rui, if you have or you interested to join this WhatsApp group.
Sure.
Yeah, so this is our system user group Kuala Lumpur. So we will discuss any all the technicals or all difficulties or any info related with the Kuala Lumpur related with our system.
Yeah, if
Okay.
you have any question, you need to ask, to suggest. Okay, if you need to speak in the next event, also you are welcomed, all of you. So let's have a chat and group on this group. What's up?
All right. So I
Yeah,
think that's all from all today. So maybe we will have another interesting session next. Hope we can try to plan for face to face, and everyone will can participate on our next event.
yeah. Rui, it
Yeah.
was a pleasure to
Yeah,
And
have.
I wanted to thank you by inviting me. It was great to be here and speak with all you guys. It was
Yeah,
really
actually,
awesome.
thank
Thank you
you.
for inviting me.
Yeah,
yeah.
thank you
Thanks,
for
Rui.
your time. I know that this is required preparation, your time and time
Yeah,
zone
no
difference
worries.
that's also challenge. So thank you a lot. Actually, we enjoyed it. Me personally, I enjoyed. I learned a lot of things. It's new for me even. So thank you a lot, and hope we can meet together later. I
Yeah.
think, yeah. Hope that. Nader, if you have any final words for the local community here.
Yeah, so untuk semua participant local, so harap semua boleh join our sessions next. So kita akan buat face to face. So we will have face to face session at Putrajaya. So anyone if kalau tak pernah lagi naik basikal elektrik, so kita will have fun during our next event. So hope semua jangan malu-malu, don't be shy. Ask any question that you want in the our user group. All right.
Okay. Thank you all, and see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Thank you
Bye.
so much. Bye.
Thank you.